how sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd, affiliated on this 4th of July Eve, the pregame Eve to the 4th of July, to Independence Day, to ID4. This is your weekly, normally Thursday night, but of course Wednesday night this week, nerdy talk show where we sit back and relax. I said we sit back and relax. And hopefully by now, as we prepare for the long weekend, you've poured yourself a a little bit of,
more specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
as we prepare for the, like I said, the long weekend. Hopefully you have a long weekend. I'm still technically working tomorrow, but won't be able to do a live tomorrow. So I figure we do it today, and you guys will probably be, traveling tomorrow and all that stuff. So, of course, if you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat, support one another, plug yo shit. In my usual spiel, I feel like there's not a lot to talk about, but then, of course, things happen, and then there's a lot to talk about. So, of course, Ironheart wrapped up. We got a new Haslab announcement, a whole bunch of releases that are dropping. So, yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good episode. And I apologize in advance for anybody whose stream I am crossing tonight. This is not my place. I'm not supposed to be here, but here we are. And without further ado, we'll bring in the man, the myth, the legend. It is me. It's me. I am the problem. It is me. Again, happy to have you guys here with me tonight. I even got the flag up today in honor of the 4th. But yeah, I was gonna. I can't even front. I literally just did not plan properly because I forgot that the 4th of July was on a Friday this year, and then that I would not be here potentially on the Thursday. So last minute on the fly decision. We're here now. We're here together. So, yeah, let's say hi to everybody in the chat. Let me move the chat up so I can actually read it. And then we'll get the show on the road. Cutthroat in the house. Good to see you. Tony, good to see you. Ultra Carta in the house. Good to see you. Yeah. I was on time, and then because I was last minute grabbing stuff, was then not on time. So it is my fault. I love it. Ultra Carter just singing it out in the chat. Whoa. Oh, wrong button. Patrick in the house. Good to see you. Actually, I will hit the button on Patrick.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
I'm actually going to pull up the reason why I'm booing Patrick today. This is something that I don't think I've talked about in a while. Let's see if we can find it. So going over here, make sure you guys are subscribed to Craft Collects. Oh, actually, yeah, you dropped this Super 7 turtle review the other day, which was awesome. I watched it on the train ride back from Ghostbusters Day, and making me want those turtles. Patrick is making me want those turtles. So I'm going to throw the link for that in the comments for you guys. Make sure you watch that later. But what I want to boo Patrick on, if I can find it, gonna have to scroll way back. It may not even been on this channel. It may have been on your Know Your Craft channel. I think it was. But Patrick got his hands on some turtle figures, some NECA turtle figures, and did a whole like hype video about how you're going to do an unboxing on those figures, and you never did it. You never did it. I don't see it here. I don't think I see it. I don't see it. It was the NECA 1990 Turtles. You did a video playing Go Ninja, Go Ninja Go. And you never dropped it. You never dropped the video. But I think it may have been on Know Your Craft. That's how long ago it was. But I never forget. I never forget. See? Oh, yeah. I never forget. So I'm still waiting on it. Still waiting on it. Let me go back up here. You're saying, yep. Saying hi to each other. I just added 2 wrestling songs to my gym playlist. Oh, the ones that he was singing there, yeah. We're saying hi to each other, cut themselves watching Ironheart. What happened to the live? Sorry, I'm late. Yep. Rocking the newly re-released Nerdbuster t-shirt. You can get it at nerdaffiliated.com. That Hasbro Haslab looks cool. Yep, Ironheart done. Jeez, I put it in the queue. I'll talk about it without spoilers, even though I don't know how you're going to avoid spoilers at this point for Ironheart. I do wear my sunglasses at night. Man Collects in the house. Good to see you. Great video today, by the way. 2 days ago from Marauder Gun Runners, I received parts to make my custom Predator Royce figure, and he looks sick as hell when displayed with the Hiya Toys Super Predators. Nice. Let me tell you how it's been recorded, and I haven't done a voiceover for. It's at least a 2-year video. It may even be a 3-year-old video at this point. I think it's safe to say it's probably a 3-year-old video. If you're at your computer, look it up so you can tell me the timestamp on that turtle video. Shameless plugs, though, of course, nerdaffiliated.com. One-stop shop for all things nerd affiliated. Also, get links to join the channel memberships, which always appreciate you members. Members get the links to join the streams whenever we open the streams up. If you're at the higher tier, and then at the higher, actually, no, that's for all tiers, but the higher tier, you guys do save, I think it's 10% or 15% whenever you buy merch. You have a code you can use. So I'll throw that back in the higher tier section of the community tab. So you can use that whenever you feel like it. And of course, links to shows and links to photo albums, all that fun stuff. But if you're into the Ghostbusters side of things, you, of course, have therealnerdbusters.com, where you can find all of our Ghostbuster videos, photo albums, event videos. Once again, all that jazz. All that jazz. I don't know if that's a real song. I don't know if that's a real song. Anyway, yeah, let's get into it. Ironheart has been the talk of the town. It has been the talk of the town, and I'm not seeing it for good reasons. Let me see if I can find something to pull up where we won't get copyright strike. I'll just pull this up. I'll do this one. Okay, I don't see spoilers here. I probably should have scrolled or scanned over this, checking for spoilers first, but I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see any. So Ironheart dropped last week. They dropped 3 episodes, and then I didn't realize it, but this week was another 3 episodes, wrapping it up, 6-episode series. Didn't know they were going to do that. I didn't know they're going to drop all of them at once. I did watch last week's 3. I started to watch this week's, and I couldn't do it. Couldn't make it through it. And thank you, Cutthroat, for the comment. Because on one of those morning videos, aka the Daily Planet, I didn't do one today. I'm sorry. Actually, I did one today. I was looking at the video afterwards, and I had a massive booger in my nose. And I was like, I can't drop this video. So today's video did not drop. Anyway, I talked about Ironheart in one of them. And look, of course, there are people who are going to like the show. There are people who like every single show that comes out, right? There are people who liked Agatha all along. People who liked Miss Marvel. Like, people are going to like, there's going to be fans of every series that comes out. There's no series that has no fans. That's not a thing. But what's happening is we're regressing back to this BS. Shout out to K-Walk Comedy in the house. Good to see you. We are regressing back to this BS where you have part of the fandom that is going to complain because the characters look how they look, right? You can drop all the ist reasons. There are people who are going to complain about that. And in fact, those were the trending videos all of last week. All the people complaining about, making all the racist comments and the sexist comments, all of those videos and reactions to those videos were the story of last week when it came to this show. This week, all of the talk to the show has been why, if you hate the show, you're blankist, and 2, the big reveal at the end of the last episode. So there's been like 3 stories to this thing over the 2 weeks, and none of them have really been about if the show is legit that good or not. People are just like, oh, I like the show. I rock with the show. And there are people who I think are overly supporting the show to try to counter people who are complaining about the show because of name, again, any of your obvious reasons why sorry, camera's being crazy. Let me change something here. Let me see if this does anything for us. Maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll fix things. So yeah, they're the people who are blankists against the show, they exist. But people are trying to counter that by saying how good the show is when it's really not that good. Because here's the thing. At the end of the day, every conversation about the show is like little to do with the main character. It's little to do with the main character, little to do with the actual storyline of the show. It's people talking about the controversy around the show, talking about the reveal at the end of the last episode, and that's it. And then this week, they actually started doing another press junket with it, and they're throwing Ryan Coogler back into the mix, having him talk about the show in an attempt to get people to talk about the show. One of the reasons I say, and don't get me wrong, I'm not the end-all be-all of these things, but with all of these shows, I always give it the test of like certain people in my life that don't watch a lot of like nerd content like this. They don't even watch my stuff, but they'll casually watch the Marvel shows. When they're not talking about it, to me, I'm like, all right, it must not be that good. And when they start them and say it's so boring, I stopped, I'm like, all right, these are people who don't consume all of the nerdy content that like I make and other people make. They don't watch any of it. And even they're not enjoying it as a casual. So no knock on the people who made the show, no knock on the actress. I don't think she deserves the hate she's getting online. The actors and actresses never do. It's just not a good show. To me, it's just not a good show. Sorry, I was just going to check something real quick. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys are actually enjoying it, not enjoying it. Because I don't know. I got nothing on. I tried. I really tried. And this is not really a spoiler. This is established in the trailers, and if you saw the first 5 minutes of the show, you know, Riri Williams is one of the smartest people on earth. And they're storylining this thing as though she has to like lie and cheat her way through school to make money, and then gets kicked out of school for being too smart, that she's even, you know, selling answers to tests and stuff to like, or she's smarter than the administration. They made some thing about like how she's smarter than the teachers or whatever, but this person's so smart, but yet somehow so poor at the same time that she gets kicked out of school, and nobody wants to scoop her up to do anything. Like even in the beginning, they're like, oh, like you should be hired by Stark Industries. Like, I don't know why Stark Industries doesn't scoop you up. Like anybody would pick her up. Freaking Trask Industries would pick her up. They could have done a storyline about her working for Trask, and that would have been another like, you know, mutant entry into the freaking MCU. But no, like nobody wants to pay her for. People are literally paying her to make projects for their high-level MIT tests and exams and projects. But then she gets kicked out of school and doesn't have enough money to like stay afloat. What were you charging these people? You know, it's a really stupid storyline. The whole thing's it's dumb, and it's you know, oh, I'm gonna work for bad guys doing bad things to make money to survive. That's the only storyline you could have thought of for this character. The only one. And then I'm going to bring race into it and say, really, like in a show about a young black girl who's the smartest person at school, the only storyline we could come up with was she's poor and therefore has to do crime to pay for things. Like, I don't know. It's just dumb. The show's just dumb. But I also don't want those other people to win, you know? So it's, you kind of get torn. But I don't know. KO in the house. Good to see you. Like I said, Kathy in the house. Good to see you. Agatha only went on an episode or two long. I think Agatha was the last Marvel show I told myself I would watch all the way through, like, as homework, because I have to for the sake of this channel. Like, I remember I watched Miss Marvel the first 2 episodes, and I was like, I can't do this. And as I was listening to people talk about it, I was like, all right, I'm fine. I don't have to watch this. I knew it was going to tie into the movie, and then turns out the movie wasn't really tied to it anyway. Like, I knew that was the whole thing. And then with Agatha all along, I was like, okay, they're going to really be pushing like the new Magic storyline, because now that the Jonathan Majors stuff happens, they're not going to be pushing the Kang thing. So, you know, maybe this is going to tie into more of the Magic and the multiverse stuff, even with like Loki involved. Spoiler alert, he wasn't in it. I thought he would be. He would make sense he'd be involved, but whatever. So I forced myself to get through all of Agatha. And then when it was done, I was like, this was a waste of time. I was like, I'm done. I'm done forcing myself to watch these shows just so I know what's happening in the MCU. And with this one, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing it. I didn't watch What If Season 3. I think maybe I watched half of the first episode. Couldn't do it. So yeah. You said it was better than Miss Marvel before it finished. Still feel that way after watching more. Miss Marvel, and then actually I'll go to my Letterboxd rankings. I just realized I have to probably add some stuff to that. Miss Marvel episode 1 was awesome. It was awesome. It was fun. It was different, energetic. I like the animation things they were doing, the use of social media. And then episode 2 started, and I don't know. I just felt like at that point, like, it's not for me. why is this a TV show? It could be a movie. And even then, it could be like a made for Disney Plus movie type of deal. I don't know. Cutthroat said Ironheart was confusing from the start of the show, but I want Ironheart to be really good. Yeah. I'm glad the actor from the Transformers Rise of the Beast is the villain in Ironheart. Yeah, no, and he came out even saying like, bashing people who hate the show. And I get it. I get it. And it's not even like he's a bad actor in the show. It's just not a good story. It's just not a good story. I haven't watched any of it yet. Just want to watch it. Kind of feels like filler series. That's because it is. It's 1,000% a filler series. And the big reveal was spoiled like 45 minutes after the show debuted. And not even on just one channel. Like everybody was spoiling the reveal in Ironheart. So I was like, even if you were trying to watch Ironheart, if you happen to be on your phone and didn't get to somehow speed run 3 episodes, you had the ending spoiled for you. So honestly, I might just attempt to rewatch it and see if maybe I missed something. But I'm definitely not going to force my way through that show. Andor, everybody said how awesome the ending of Andor was. And I'm not saying you guys are wrong. Not saying you're wrong. But I realized, they also did 3 episode drops on Andor. I don't know what this 3 episode thing is that Disney's into now, but they're doing the 3 episode arcs. And the other day I sat down and I was like, all right, I think I could probably skip an episode or 2 and get into the good stuff, and realized I had another like 9 episodes to go until I was going to get to the good arcs, the last 2 arcs of Andor. Not happening. Not happening. So if hardcore fans can't do it, I don't know how they expect casual fans to do it. I don't see how. I feel like this light's slightly too bright still. Yeah. It can be a little brighter. So today I went over to Letterboxd, and I haven't loaded Letterboxd in a long time, but figured I would try to do some updates on it. And one of them was I added in Brave New World. I finally watched Brave New World. I talked about it, I think, on the Daily Planet, but I didn't talk about it on a live stream yet, I don't think. And Brave New World is right down here somewhere. I have it 39 out of 47. These pop-ups, man, crazy. I have it right down here. Now, can I add? Because sometimes Letterboxd lets you do TV shows and sometimes it doesn't. Daredevil. Yeah. Daredevil not on here. But Ironheart was on there, so it's not always consistent. Anyway, going down here to the bottom, Inhumans default the worst thing they've ever done. But Ironheart's here at the bottom, the Marvels is at the bottom, Black Widow at the bottom, Secret Invasion at the bottom, and Brave New World at the bottom. Brave New World, my review, it could have been an email. Brave New World didn't have to be a movie. Not at all. Not at all. I haven't seen Thunderbolts yet, but I'm going to wait till that's on streaming, and then we'll rank that. I assume Thunderbolts, if I had to guess, is going to be somewhere in the middle here. But we are a far cry from anything up here. Anything up here. So, factoring in the, all the recent releases, I think it's safe to say I don't think anything you know, anything. I don't think there's anything post Endgame that's going to break a top 10. Not at this point. Like, I don't see them releasing anything remotely better than, I'll even say, WandaVision. I think the ship has sailed. I don't know what Marvel's going to do. I don't know what Marvel's going to do. If I could rank like the Daredevil shows, for example, on here, then, you know, Daredevil season 2 would be a top 10. I don't know if this thing would actually, if this thing didn't let me break out seasons and I could just put the show, Daredevil would be, you know, up here in the top 10. Daredevil would be like number 5, ranking all the MCU projects. But that wouldn't be because of the last season of Daredevil. Really enjoyed it. It was great, almost perfect. But most of that was nostalgia and fan service. So, and apparently it's the only show, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, the only Marvel show that hasn't been on the Nielsen ratings as like a top performer. So I don't know what MCU's doing. Do not know. But they got to figure it out. Need to figure it out. Don't get me started on Captain America Brave New World. I fell asleep 3 times trying to watch it. It's such a waste of a movie. Such a waste of a movie. Andor is not for everyone. I liked it because of Rogue One. I mean, Rogue One is in my top 3 Star Wars movies. Andor, if I could rank all the Star Wars TV shows, Andor is like the bottom. I right now have Acolyte over Andor. Easy. Because at least Acolyte had 1 episode where I cared. Andor, I've had 0. Book of Boba Fett had 2 episodes I cared about. So that's already better than Andor. Did I buy a physical copy of Sinners yet? I did not. I bought the digital. But I did not buy the physical. And I still haven't rewatched it. I don't know why I'm slacking on that one. Do not know. They probably pitched the show and Harrison said, nah, when it comes to Brave New World. It should have been, if anything, best case scenario, Brave New World should have been a Disney Plus series, and it could have been a limited series of 3 episodes. But the storyline, it was a Hulk storyline with no Hulk in it. They copy plot thread, or sorry, not the main plot thread, but they copy the, how do I phrase this? One of the plot threads that kind of pushes the story through is copy paste from Winter Soldier. It is legit copy paste. But the overall storyline is useless. It's pointless. I'll spoil it. A slight spoiler. No, I'll spoil it. The storyline is just that they want to, the Harrison Ford, General Ross is now President Ross. That's in the trailer. He wants to get the adamantium, which is in the Eternal that died at the end of the Celestial that died at the end of Eternals, right? They've named it adamantium. He wants to get that, right? But the whole thing is he wants his daughter to just acknowledge the fact that he's being a good president, and his daughter just won't see him. So the whole movie is him just being mad that things are happening and his daughter's not wanting to see him. Liv Tyler. And then what they copy from Winter Soldier is that somebody's messing with him, President Ross. I won't tell you who it is, but they're messing with him and able to activate people to do bad things via a song because they've been brainwashed. Just like Winter Soldier, where they have you read the certain things and then it activates. This time it's just a song. So all these bad things keep happening because a song plays and people get activated. and he turns into the Hulk at the end of the movie. The Red Hulk, which you saw in the trailers and in the action figures and the posters. So I won't tell you how Sam beats the Red Hulk because I think it's hilarious and you should watch it, but it's awful. It's awful. I'm mad they got rid of Seth Rollins, and I don't know what friggin' they put what's his face in it, Giancarlo, in the commercial, to try to get views because he didn't do shit in that movie. So as I scroll down this list, I have Falcon and Winter Soldier pretty high because it was actually a pretty good show. Hawkeye's up there, but I mean, it like what happened to this? Remember Werewolf by Night came out? People were kind of like up, you know, like, oh, it's pretty decent show. They've never done anything else with any of those characters. Moon Knight, nothing. I think we're getting Shang-Chi too. He's at least going to be in the Avengers movie. But they're not doing anything over there. It's wild. It is wild. Sorry, I thought I was sharing the screen. I wasn't. I hated that my Walmart chose not to get rid of the goddamn Captain Marvel 4 shipper and didn't replace it with the WrestleMania shipper, which I never found. Oh, and now it's a SummerSlam shipper, I believe. I haven't been to Walmart in a hot minute. I don't care for spoilers for the atrocious Captain America 4 movie since I have no desire to watch it. Yeah, you're good. There is not actually, just like, you know, going into that without watching the TV show, there's nothing about that movie that as things continue, I would have to tell you, oh, you need to go back and watch that movie first. Nothing. Other than if in Avengers, you know, Harrison Ford is in prison and you're like, oh, how did he get in jail? Why is Harrison Ford in jail? Why is Harrison Ford in the movie? Like that. And then somebody can just tell you. That's about it. He could have been Hulk an hour in and had that being a back and forth of him hiding and becoming the proper Ross Hulk. Sorry, let me try again. He could have been Hulk an hour in and that being a back and forth of him hiding and then becoming proper Ross Hulk at the end, but they didn't call me to write it properly. I mean, even that being obvious would have been a better call, right? That would have been a classic Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, or, you know, shout out to Batman animated series, Night of the Bat, where this creature keeps showing up, wrecking things, disappearing, and nobody knows who the creature is. And you got to try to figure it out. Obviously, to us, we would know it was Harrison Ford. And they did it in Wednesday. In the Wednesday show, they did Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and you didn't know who the creature was until the final episode. And the whole time, they're like really trying to convince you it's one person and it's another person. But they made really good cases for it being two people, you know, so the whole time you're like, it's got to be one of these two. Oh, wait, it could be this third person. So if you haven't watched Wednesday, give it a shot. God, I hope my Walmarts have a SummerSlam shipper. As soon as hell, will buy as much as I can from that shipper. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Do you have any cool pictures of the new G.I. Joe Hasbro Haslab? Yeah. We'll move on to that. We'll move on to the Haslab. Thanks for entertaining my rant on Ironheart. That was fun. All right. So, Yo Joe June has come and gone. There was supposed to be a live stream. I believe the Man Collects pointed out on his video today, the live stream was supposed to be like June 20th, 12th or something like that, somewhere in there. And it got canceled. They delayed it. and we finally had it yesterday. And in that stream, they ended up revealing the new G.I. Joe Hasbro project, which once again, they kill it. Hasbro, I have to say, when it comes to the G.I. Joe line, I feel like this is the crown jewel of Hasbro when it comes to physical toys at this point. Physical adult toys, the adult section, it's got to be G.I. Joe. Every Haslab backs, all the figures come with tons of accessories. Usually they're not hard to find. And they offer great like expansion pack type of stuff. Like the firefighter coming out, you know, the random paratrooper or the Halo troopers, the snipers. G.I. Joe's killer. A close second would be Transformers, in my opinion. And honestly, Transformers is probably even better for them because the Transformer Haslabs, we don't even talk about that. I don't know any of you guys who ever talk about the Transformers Haslabs, and those things back in like 12 hours. So the Transformer fan base is the Transformer fan base is like, it's like those, you know, like if we're all like different nerds or like different groups in like high school, like you have like the jocks, you got like the basketball kids, the football kids, then you have like the nerd groups, right? Like you have like the chess team, you got the video game club, right? The Transformers kids, like in that mix, would be like the Fungus Club. Like those are the kids you're like, man, I really, really want to make fun of those kids, but you know they're the most effed up. Like those are the ones that will cause like real problems if you piss them off. But they're quiet, they keep to themselves. The G.I. Joe fan base, probably the most vocal of all the groups, but also probably has the most men in this group, like grown men who make content in this group. And they fully support the line. And this one's no different. Right now we are less than 2,000 to go until it backs. I thought it would have backed by now, but no dice. But this one is the largest vehicle.
Look, they're in the snow.
Oh,
Go.
sorry, didn't know there was volume on that. This one's the largest vehicle they've put out so far, and they ended up showing a comparison with the others. It wasn't in this video; it was in their actual stream. Let's pull that up. Come on. That's the same video. Oh, 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Massive.
Oh, that was amazing.
Any additional features that you would like to show off before we move to our unlock tiers?
Well, let's see here. Here we go. Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't think it's bigger than the Rattler. You guys let me know. Rattler, which is currently shipping to everybody. I think Dada Films is getting his soon. He wants to come on and talk about it. So I don't think it's, I put it this way, I don't think it's heavier than the Rattler. The Rattler has the larger wingspan, obviously. But where it was the comparison part. Because this was a long stream. I was actually surprised at how long they were talking about it. Those are the unlocks. Let's do that. Here we go.
On lineups, it looks like there may be another vehicle that we could potentially show off on the side, and we could just line them all up, and then we can kind of do a rotate all around.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Bam.
Now they're gonna have to break down camp.
Yeah.
Into action.
Yeah, that's true.
That's impressive.
So as you can see, it's pretty massive. The footprint of it
It's
alone.
enormous.
It's a bit wider than the His tank, and it's got a little bit more meat to it than the His tank. The His tank is taller, but this is definitely a heavier, bulkier vehicle. And of course, we had to do that because it is a 2-seater. We wouldn't have been able to get this any smaller than what it is. As you can see next to the Stinger, if you put that closer to it,
Right over to that form is nice.
dwarfs the Stinger, and it had to be that way.
Yeah.
Just because of the
Ooh,
scale
you know what
difference.
we could do here? Scooch him into the middle. There we go.
Bam.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Jeezy Pete.
But again, you're going to be able to put a bunch of figures on that.
Yeah.
So while this is your shelf,
Yep.
a lot of figure storage.
Yeah, and again, that's part of our philosophy. We want these vehicles to be a figure centerpiece.
Yep.
Because we understand how much shelf real estate is important. So how do you make the new vehicle complement your shelf?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make
Love
the
it.
story happen.
Beautiful.
Cool.
They kill it. They absolutely kill it. Shout out to Emily, by the way, just winning. She's the marketing head for the G.I. Joe side and the Ghostbuster side. Winning. Absolutely winning. Oh my God, it's bigger than His tank. Yeah. When I see things like that, I wish I was a G.I. Joe fan. Yeah. You know, I made a video about Haslab backing and all. I love that. You still haven't backed to Transformers Haslab. Did not know that. Only thing I didn't like was the figure unlocks they gave us are classified G.I. Joe figures we already own. I want the unlocks to be G.I. Joe figures they have never put out. I'm on both sides of the fence with that. That is a good point. Excuse me. So you can see here, comes with the turret on the top. The front stands up like a little wheelie action there, LED lights, all that fun stuff. And then it comes with, I'm forgetting his name, but it comes with the one Joe figure here, 2 different head sculpts. But then when you get to the unlocks, the first one is a Lady J figure. So to your point, Lady J is already a figure that exists, but now you get a, winterized version. And then with number 3, you get Flint, winterized version. Like I said, I'm both sides of the fence on this one. Do I think there should be some exclusiveness to the Haslab? Of course. But then when you're trying to complete like a team, I don't think it's right that a final piece to that team exists behind a paywall as large as a Haslab. What was the one that did that? The Ghost, right? When the Ghost came out, I feel like Zeb, the only version of Zeb that was out there in TVC may have been that version, the one that came with the Ghost. I believe they come out with a TVC Zeb since then. But if you're trying to finish that team out, you had to buy that. There was another one. I feel like it was the same concept. Oh, no, you know what I'm thinking of? When they came out with Dr. Mindbender and with the Emperor or whatever his name is from G.I. Joe, like those being SDCC exclusives. So like you couldn't get them at Target. Like the only way you can get those characters to finish out your G.I. Joe set would have been to either be at Comic-Con or purchase when they did the Comic-Con window online. Since then, they've released, I think, both of them. Dr. Mindbender is available now. It's not the same. Doesn't have all these same accessories. But you can at least get him. So, I don't know. I'm cool with it being variants in there. They're not essential variants to like a display. They're also not essential where, if they don't hit all these tiers, this is less. That was another thing, too. With the Ghost, remember? Like, you had to get all the tiers to get the whole team. So, like, you ran that risk, like, of getting just part of the team. Here, like, if you don't get all the figures, it's still a great display piece. Like, even if you don't get the little camp out thing here, like, you could get none of these unlocks, and it's still a pretty good display piece. My issue overall, I was talking to Man Collects in his comment section about it, was when are we going to reach the break point of vehicles? Because vehicles right now are dominating, right? We have the ramen toy vehicles continuing to drop. Every Haslab now, seems to be a vehicle of some sort. McFarlane was dropping vehicles left and right. You know, at a certain point, you can't display all of these things. So at what point does not only space become an issue, but do people say, hey, I can't afford another $300 vehicle? This one being $325. And, you know, there doesn't seem to be too much overlap, but does the website not show me the other ones? It doesn't. On the app, it does. The app shows you the past Haslabs. But the, you know, you potentially have the Dragonfly had just shown up for you last year. The His Tank showed up for you last year. Rattler's coming now. You got this one that's going to come next year. If you got the Ecto 1 that's coming this year. If you already have the Ghost, you know, so that's 5-6 vehicles you would have got from Hasbro if you collect G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and, you know, Ghostbusters with the Ecto 1. But now if you factor in the McFarlane stuff, if you factor in the Ramen toy vehicles, which go with classified, yeah, at some point you're going to be like, it's not worth buying it because they haven't even unboxed these other ones. Which has been one of the things I've called out for a while, which is we need to start challenging and calling out some of these influencers out here that are telling you to buy this stuff to say, hey, show me your collection. You're telling me to buy every single Super 7 playset. Show me where the other ones are in your house, because you told me to buy those too. Or did you not buy them? Or are they not even on display? You know? General Kenobi. I apologize. Wait, aren't you going live soon? I thought you were going live soon. I'm sorry if I'm crossing over into your stream. I thought you were going live tonight. Let me know. How many did you order? 0. They could have given us like cross-country winter classified figure.
Perfect.
Yeah. We just got notified. What did we get notified of? Hey, Patrick. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm not going to buy that Haslab. You're not going to make me do it. For the 4th of July stream. Love that. To you, Patrick. You know, I'm going to open a fresh one. Hang on.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
I still haven't forgiven you for not dropping that video. But I appreciate it. Let's see. Giving us, yeah. We're saying hi to each other. Love that. Yeah, going live in 20 minutes. Awesome. Make sure you guys check out General Kenobi's Bunker live at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, right? Yeah. I'll make sure to end just in time for you. Because you're the real one. You're the day one. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Patrick. Appreciate all of you guys for hanging out with me, even on this Wednesday. But yeah, so, you know, once again, another G.I. Joe project I'm not going to back. Wish I could. Would love to. Price point, can't do it. And I also just don't collect Joes like that. Although I do have some Joes downstairs. I do have the Firefighter Joe on order. Just thought it was cool, so I pre-ordered that one. Do I have any other ones? I don't think so. Let's see. Let me go over to classified here. Yeah. Like if you know, if I could stop collecting all of the lines and just focus on one thing, you know, maybe it would have been G.I. Joe, because like I said, accessories, fun factor. Like this, I kind of wish I got the snake. I just think that'd be fun to have. I just haven't been doing a ton of figure photography Not enough to justify getting it. Would have gotten, Crystal Ball here. I thought was pretty cool. What else? Yeah, this is the one I got. The firefighter one. I just think that's pretty cool to have. And I was thinking of like, it'd be fun to do a 4th of July photo with like, your Captain America or your Spider-Man with, the firefighter, police officer, army guy, that I feel like it serves those kinds of photos. So that's why I pre-ordered that one. I did want to get heavy duty, but I was watching Toy Games. Were you the one that was doing this? I think Toy Games was the one that was like how you have the same facial expression 2 different times. There's no like yelling or anything. So he's just chilling, just like blasting missiles off. Like it don't make any sense. So if this one ever goes on sale, I'll pick it up. That's about it. Here's the Mindbender. Road Pig, if he ever went on clearance at Target, I was gonna pick him up, but he didn't. I picked up the Halo jumper. I wish I got more than one. I only picked up one. Once a Man, if that was on sale, I would have gotten it. Picked up a Sniper, got her on the crazy sale. So G.I. Joe's a great line, but I just don't display them like that. So that's why I haven't really gotten into picking up a lot of their stuff. Haven't bought much G.I. Joe this year due to my commitments to WWE. Yeah, it makes sense. Doing this tonight's going to cause a rip in the space-time continuum. Rambling there in the house, good to see it. Or even giving us a Snowstorm classified figure would have been another good figure to give us. Yeah. I haven't been getting any Marvel Legends, really. Like, I have Daredevil and Punisher on pre-order. I forgot I had those on pre-order until the other day. Maximum Hulk is in stock. Look at that. Tells you how well it's selling. X-Force Archangel is in stock. Surprised by that. But yeah, they have a lot of inventory now. A lot of things are just sitting. Oh, Maximum Spider-Man is in stock. Anybody who paid markup on this is it's just sad. I feel bad for anybody who paid more than $50 for this thing. Ah, that Cyclops. See, so like if that Jean Grey goes on sale at Target, I would go back and buy this Cyclops because this one I think is pretty cool. They would go great together. Oh, I did pick up Wolverine the other day, actually. The Wolverine from 97 that's showing up at Target. I did pick that one up. Is that shield the same? Yeah, it's pretty much the same. So I wouldn't have to get that. If Red Hulk went on sale, I would have picked that one up. Yeah, so not too much there. I'm waiting to see when that Sentinel shows up. I want to see those reviews because I do kind of regret not picking up that X-Men 97 Sentinel. You guys remember that one? The one that was like, I think it was $200 for pre-order. They just dropped pictures for Dragon Man, so that one's going to be shipping out pretty soon. But I don't know. I kind of regret not getting the Sentinel, but you can't have just one Sentinel. You need more than one. Yeah. Let's look at Ramen Toys. I want to see what's going on over there. And then we'll wrap up so we can get ready for Kenobi stream. Yeah, did you get any of them? Did you pick up one? Did you get one? Yeah, did any of you guys get the Sentinel? I feel like Man Collects got the Sentinel. But it's just tough, man. It's like you got to have them fighting more than one. And the way that 3D printing's going, I just feel like that's something that can be printed. Someone just has to drop it. So this is cool. The Aces of Aviation, aka Top Gun. So you got Goose there, you got Iceman there, you got I don't know what rank he was there. This one I don't really remember as much. And then the Eagle Sharp, aka Gotcha Man, coming out. But the Vans, this is what I wanted to get. I've seen some cool mods of these. Somebody actually modded this one the other day into a turtle van. I don't know if the turtles will fit in there, but it was they did all yellow with the green top, foot stink on the side. It was pretty funny. But oh, that's cool. Yeah. If these ever went on sale, I mean, they were on sale when they first launched. But again, I don't currently have any spot to put any more vehicles. I don't have any vehicles on display, but I would love to do photos with the A-Team van. But see here with these, again, if you're a classified guy or girl, you can pick these up and they would just kind of nicely go with your classified figures. Yeah, they do have a lot of stuff now. Getting the Titan Sentinel for like $20 and wait with the upcoming one, and you're good. I regretted not buying that one. The one that was for the smaller scale, I think, right? Is that what you're talking about? Because that one was on sale forever. And then by the time I found mod videos on it, where people repainted it to be Expo 97, it went back up in price. I was like, oh, damn it. The other one I want to check out is Valaverse. See what he's got going on with vehicles. It's weird he doesn't have an all. He's an all option. Nothing there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, not bad. If you're doing an order of things, why is there no X to get out of this? Vala, you need a website update. Okay, that's it for Series 3. All right. Series 4. It's got a sniper on sale. Arctic Sniper Pack. $30. Again, you should be able to X out of this. Come on, Bobby. This is it's pretty similar to what we got with the G.I. Joe one. It just comes with an actual working case here. And this one has the straps in it. That's cool. Nothing there. You have all the figures. Nice. Muzzle pack. All right. Exclusives. That's funny. No points required. Cool. All right. He has some stuff on there too. Yeah. I've never picked up a Valaverse. I almost did with the Sergeant Slaughter, but then by the time I got my hands on the classified one, I was pretty good with it. At that point, I was like, yeah, I don't really need another Slaughter. I just thought he'd have more figures on here. Yeah, Vala does his thing. He does his thing. Love his YouTube channel, but yeah, I've never picked up the figures. And Cutthroat said he has all of them. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had for today. I was hoping I would have received my new shirt in the mail so I can really promote it, but it didn't arrive on time. So hopefully it arrives tomorrow. See what happens. Dada Films in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, but make sure you guys check out nerdaffiliated.com. Get yourself some new merch. I'm working on a couple other things to hopefully drop pretty soon. Stay tuned for that. I'm just doing one more peruse online to make sure I didn't miss anything. I think there, what was it? Was it something with, oh, this one. Yeah. I thought this was pretty cool. You didn't get the memo about tonight? Yeah. I posted it online. And then the stream was scheduled. The Great Ape. Yeah. For 220. This one is SDCC exclusive. Battle damage, Great Ape. Looks pretty sick. Debatable. It's debatable. The problem is, one, where to display it, you know. And that's the thing too. Seeing this as an import at 220, but then the Sentinel is 200, I'm like, the Sentinel should be cheaper. You know, these are the battles I have. But, you know, I don't have a place to display this, for one. But also, my Dragon Ball figures, none of them are from the Saiyan arc. So, like, you know, it'd be good to have a battle damage Goku to go with this. You know, Kid Gohan, Dead Yamcha. Like, I don't have any of those figures to go with this one. But it looks great. This Cyclops has been making his rounds online. Again, looks great. I'm not ruling to do 100 bones for this thing. But you know, I will love to see photos of this with the Storm Collectibles Ryu. Because right now the Marvel vs. Capcom shelves are starting to build out. Still debating getting this one. Police Story Jackie Chan. That looks like it could be a lot of fun. Go to Super 7 site, look at the new G.I. Joe 375s. All right, yeah, I'll take a look. Yeah. Oh, I thought this was pretty cool. Again, I kind of wish I was a bigger fan of Bebop, but this one's pretty dope. There are certain things with Mondo, I'm like, that could work. But the Ghostbuster ones, it's just not happening. Man Collect showed this on his stream today, and I didn't know this was I saw this, and my brain didn't register it was a hot toy. But considering this is only 200 bones, if you're a fan of Nightfall Batman, this is a pickup, or 220 or something like that. Light up chest, wired cape, yeah. If you're remotely a fan, you need to pick this one up. For sure. All right, Ultra Carta. See you over there. Yeah. I can't justify Mayfex prices. Can't do it. All right, you said Super 7. They have a new 375 G.I. Joe. Let's take a look. I meant to comment on something that Brian Flynn talked about, and I don't remember what it was. I wrote it down. It's these prices, man. 20 bones for 375. That's too rich. Can't do it. Can't do it. Like, it's cool that he makes them, but his prices are just, they were wild before, and now they're even worse because of the tariff stuff. Yeah. Let me see if we can find that clip real quick. What did I want to talk about with it? Brian Flynn, Super 7, Joe. It was at Joe Fest. I know. Oh, I wrote it down. Where is it? All right. I wrote down 6:30.
Are there, with G.I. Joe Ultimates, we know that the Python Patrol Destro and the Tiger Force Flint are hitting pre-order now.
Pre-order now. They'll be in warehouse next week.
So obviously there's a big pool available of repaints there, but also this is something, since you've introduced the deluxes, I've always wondered, is there a possibility of deluxe format G.I. Joes?
There's definitely an opportunity there. It's a slightly trickier thing because classified is sold at mass retail, and most of the deluxe have been going into the back shelf of Target. So we've been discussing it, but trying to figure out how to word it properly. But the initial feeling is sort of like they wouldn't want something on shelf that would compete with classified at the same price point and the same scale in the same retailer. So while Ultimates have been fine because we're working at a different price point and a different distribution model, so it's not showing up at the same retailer. We've talked a lot about the opportunity for that to happen in the future, but we haven't landed on when and where that can happen yet.
And that was mainly the point of the deluxes, was to get them accessible and
to get them down to a price point where you kind of have what we describe often as you have collectors and fans. Collectors buy fan product as well as collector product, but fans don't necessarily buy collector product. So you've got a guy that walks into a Target and is willing to buy, Lion-O, for example, at $34.99. I just want a blister on a card. I don't care about anything else. And then you have another guy that's like, no, I need it to be like this. If that hand is even this far off, it's wrong. Everything's got to be perfect. Those are two different people. And so really Deluxe was like, how do we bring the excitement we have at the collector level down to something that a more casual fan can buy and be excited about?
a little more of an impulse buy.
It's just that we're at Joe Fest, so we're talking to people that care about the nerdy details, and the reality is that there's 10 times as many people that I just want Snake Eyes and Cobra Commander, maybe a Destro. I don't care about anybody else. There's far more of those people. If you think about the people that you may know that have collections where it's like they've got an Optimus, a Megatron, a this, a that, and that's what they like. It's more, how do we get those people excited about what we're doing,
and possibly hook them into the rest.
Hey, that's a nice little side hustle if we can get it. But I would love to be doing more with that. I think really with Ultimates we have to be very sort of careful, simply because Classified is such a good line and it is so robust, and most people literally can only afford one 6-inch scale line at a time, and most people have chosen Classified.
Let me tell you something. I give Super 7 so much shit. I love some of their stuff, but I give them a ton of shit. And a lot of people give them shit. Everybody gives Brian Flynn shit. But then when Brian Flynn talks, I'm like, the dude makes sense. And he seems very aware of what's happening out there. We've talked about this before, especially when it comes to like the Marvel stuff, right? We were talking about Marvel earlier today, and if you don't have casuals engaged, you're going to fail. hardcores in any nerd space generally are not big enough to maintain a franchise. You need the casuals who come in, drop some money, and leave. There's way more of those than the people who come in and drop money every single time or watch every single release. So, you know, we've mentioned it before when it comes to, you know, some of these figures where it's like, you know, you need to, it was with the Power Ranger line recently, how the Power Ranger line, the new one, is priced so low, they're hoping that it's just casual people who are like, oh, it's a Green Ranger figure and it looks similar to one as a kid. I'm going to buy that. That's what they're hoping for. Because they know, excuse me, sorry. That's why I usually don't do beer on the show. They know that the hardcore is going to buy it no matter what. But there's not enough hardcores out there to maintain a whole line. So that was a great question that person had. I'm glad I remembered to bring this up. Thank you, Dada, for bringing up Super 7. It's a great question as to, would you do G.I. Joe Deluxe like you've been doing the other Deluxe? But he's going to be competing with Hasbro, who owns a license, who licenses G.I. Joe out to him so he can make stuff. But they would also be, you know, allowing him to compete against them. And while it might seem cool, right, to ego and be like, all right, I think my 6-inch figure will sell better than your 6-inch figure, there's no way he's going to be able to get the price point to match. And he's fighting for the same hardcores, and those hardcore people are not going to be satisfied with collecting exclusively deluxe figures. They're going to want ultimate figures. So it's almost a lose-lose. It's essentially a lose-lose. So great answer. Great answer by Brian Flynn. And that's why I get mad with certain things. I'm like, he seems so aware. And every time Brian Flynn talks, I'm like, it's like McFarlane. Same thing with McFarlane. They talk and I'm like, man, that shit makes sense. But then when I see like the price points or the releases or the types of stuff that's getting released, I'm like, where did that come from? Is that the same person making those decisions? I don't know. But he's right. You know, and that's why Hasbro, that's why they have that, like, I forget the name that they called it, but it's like essentially a legacy line where they want to do the John Cena thing, the Roman Reigns thing. They want a line that is just Captain America, Spider-Man, and Iron Man, where they'll always be on the shelf when you go to a store. And it'll be like repaints. It'll be a couple, maybe a slight retool, but mostly repaints, limited accessories on the shelf. A whole shipper of just Captain America. The problem, though, is that it's the same price as the standard Marvel Legend figures. So a Marvel Legends collector is not going to look at those that comes with less things and say that's worth the price. If anything, I'm going to buy that extra figure because when it's on sale, maybe I'm missing a Captain America or a Spider-Man. But because it's so close in price to the actual thing, you're not going to get any new casuals. For this test to work, it's got to be priced lower than your collector line. So Brian Flynn knows what he's talking about. But the decisions that get made sometimes, I'm just like, ugh, how do we get there? Yeah, he's done his homework. Yeah. Super 7's bottom line must be the most conservative ever. I tell you, I think their issue is that they don't own any of these licenses. Everything that they're making is them acquiring the license from somebody else to make the figure. Where with Hasbro, they own Transformers, they own G.I. Joe, so they can do whatever they want. Disney owns Star Wars and Marvel, so they license out, and Hasbro's like, yeah, we just need to hold on to it for visibility here. But Super 7 doesn't own anything. It's all them acquiring licenses, and that's the problem. Along with, I don't know why they're they still have brick and mortar. Even though I'm not trying to have people lose their jobs, but it's like one of those. It is what it is. But Brian Flynn, man, smart guy. Smart guy. All right. Well, General Kenobi should be live now. He is. Let's see what he's doing.
That's a hell of a package right there. So yeah,
Actually, you don't have to. I'm gonna do a spin wheel. You just
Yeah,
got to make
there you
sure
go.
I know how to talk to you. 'Cause
Yep.
if you just randomly jump in and
yeah, right.
How do I
yeah,
get to the
tell
chat?
me
sure.
like, hey, this is so and so on IG, like then I might not know who
Exactly.
you are. I'll
Yeah,
find you
and
though.
for that, I would highly advise you guys to follow our friend Mike over on Instagram, the Dad Vader.
Why can't I
Remember
chat?
that D is what sets him apart on the username. So make sure you're following the right one. Which, dude, did you just get like past 7,500 like not that long ago on your?
I passed it and then I went right back down. You know how
It won't let me
IG
yeah,
chat. I want to chat.
but
that
I did
ticks me off
cross.
so much.
Yeah, I did cross it, so I'm gonna count it.
Oh,
So we'll
absolutely.
be doing a giveaway for that at some point as well.
Yep.
They just lined up like at the same time. I'm like, well, you see the way my bank account's set up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have
Like
two
Kenobi know that
accounts.
we're watching him.
Takes 5 to 10 business days to transfer.
Mhm,
No,
mhm.
I hear you, but yeah, congrats on that, dude, for sure.
Thank you.
You know, because I always see you posting. You're always, very constant on Instagram for sure. And again, the numbers will follow. So before we jump into, into the chat and into tonight's stream, I just want to take a couple minutes. Apologize to you guys because I called off last week's stream kind of last minute, and I think most of you saw my post. Those of you that didn't, let me tell you why. So, um, our dog, our pet, um, our friend, really, um, left us that morning, and so to put things in perspective, she had been with my wife longer than I've known my wife.
Wow.
So my wife had her since literally a puppy. Uh, 16 years, dude. 2009. 16 years. She'd been with my wife. Uh, she'd been with me. 12 of those 16 years, right? When I first met my wife, I think our second date, I actually met the dog. Um, and
And
then
that's when your wife knew when you met the dog. That's
dude,
when she knew.
and it's funny you say that because this dog hated like dudes, like in general. And I mean, like, she would like launch and bark and try to like bite dude. Like, she was the sweetest thing to anybody else, but if you were a dude, she would go at you like no questions asked. Little fact that my wife, forgot or neglected to tell me at the time, right? And so there I am. I'm showing up at her place to pick her up, right? Um, it's like our second date, and we're gonna go to a picnic. So she's like, "Oh, since we're going to the park, I'm gonna bring the dog." I was like, "Oh, sure, right." Um, and she's like, "Oh, let me go grab something," and she just leaves me with the dog, dude. So I'm like, "All right, hey, dog," and I'm just like, like trying to play with her and like, like petting her and stuff. And then my wife's come back and she's like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "What's up?" She's like, I guess I didn't tell you, but she actually like hates, like dudes, like men, I guess. She's like, she's okay-ish with kids, but like grown man, she's actually pretty bad. I'm like, now you tell me this, like big ass dog, like
As you're
me
holding her next to your face.
yeah,
And
dude, exactly. I'm like, really? Like, is that what she's growling? And so anyway, we went and all that stuff, right? So she was always calm, but actually, I don't think it was that time, but a couple of dates that or I think we were just walking her like at a park, and sure enough, this dude comes over, or just not even comes over, like he just like goes by on a bike, um, and she just like went for him, dude. Like the dude got, he like got scared. He like knocked himself out, like on the side, hit a tree. Like it was a whole thing. I was like, oh my lord, like you were not kidding. And she's like, nope. She's like, she really hates him. I was like, dang, like why would you leave me with this murderous thing like by myself without knowing, you know? But but yeah, she definitely got a lot more calm as the age passed. But yeah, I mean, my kid, she's known she's known her all his life, right? She's been there from day one, ever since he came back, from the hospital. Like we came back with him, right, as a baby. So yeah, it was rough for sure. It was pretty tough to be honest with you. I was like, you know what, I'll keep the stream on. Let's just we'll kind of we'll do our thing. We were meant to celebrate 4 years of the channel, right? So I was kind of looking forward to that, of course. Um, but then it came around like bedtime and stuff, and we were all just kind of laying down, and it just kind of hit us again, right? Like just the reality of it all. And I was like, you know what, I can't. Like it's like, who am I kidding, dude? Like I'm not gonna be able to power through. So yeah, guys, sorry, Bunker Bunch again. For calling it off like so last minute. But like I said, we were not doing great that day, to be honest with y'all. And we weren't doing great, for the next few days for sure. Obviously, it's been exactly a week, so I'm not saying we're completely over it by no means. I don't know that we'll ever will be. Um, but like I said, it was a little bit of a rough day for us here at the house. So that's why we decided to postpone it. But
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, when he did that post, I was like, oh, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. But shout out to John Kenobi. Shout out to Dad Vader. They're live streaming right now. So make sure you guys head over to that stream when you finish this one. But I appreciate you guys coming by on a Wednesday to check out the stream. Next Thursday might also not happen. There might be a work thing. So if this moves to Wednesday next week, I'll try to let you guys know sooner than later. Or if it's like Tuesday or something. But just giving you a heads up for now. But it's been a pleasure. Been an honor. Normally, HeyArcher Live is every Thursday at 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated, but that's why it's important you have that bell hit so you get notified every time we go live here on the channel. Daily Planet has been coming out 4 days a week during the daytime, in the morning. Didn't get a chance to do one today. I'll try to actually, correction. I did it today. It was messed up, so I didn't release it. I'll try to do one tomorrow. I'll try my best. If not, it'll be back next week. But I appreciate all the support from all of you. Shout out to today's sponsor, Craft Collects. Make sure you drop that video, Patrick. And of course, all of you channel members and just general supporters. Always appreciate you. Happy 4th. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy each other's company. And let everything else stay on the outside. Like, comment, subscribe. Talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. I'm out of here.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.